Haunted bicycle on a hillside. Yes, I was happy in the haze of a drunken hour.
The Smiths, music, money, conflict, and the band that changed England forever. In early 1980s England, optimism was in short supply. Factories were closing, unemployment was rising. For a generation of young people, the future felt narrow, gray, and unforgiving. And then 4 young men from Manchester created something strange, poetic, and quietly revolutionary. They didn't shout. They didn't pose like rock stars. They didn't want to belong. They were called the Smiths. Manchester was not London. It was colder, rougher, more industrial. The city had already produced Joy Division, Buzzcocks, and a culture that valued authenticity over glamour. Out of this environment emerged Stephen Patrick Morrissey, a shy, obsessive young man with a love for literature, old films, and outsiders. Morrissey believed pop music had lost its soul. He wanted songs about unrequited love, social isolation, sexual confusion, working-class frustration. But he needed a musical partner. In 1982, Johnny Marr, a gifted young guitarist, knocked on Morrissey's door. Within hours, they wrote their first song together. It was instant chemistry. Marr brought bright, jangling guitar melodies, musical discipline, a love for classic pop structures. Morrissey brought sharp, literate lyrics, dark humor, emotional vulnerability. Soon, Andy Rourke, bass, and Mike Joyce, drums, completed the lineup. The band chose the name The Smiths as a deliberate rejection of flashy or glamorous band names common at the time. Morrissey explained that Smith was the most common surname in Britain: ordinary, working class, anonymous. The name reflected their connection to everyday people, their anti-rock star attitude, a sense of realism and emotional honesty. The Smiths rejected almost everything rock culture stood for. No guitar solos, no drugs as an image, no American blues worship, no empty rebellion. They sang about celibacy, depression, and emotional honesty. Their image was deliberately anti-glamour. Flowers in back pockets, vintage photographs, ordinary faces. They didn't want to escape England. They wanted to confront it. The Smiths did not build their legacy on excess. They built it on precision. In just 4 studio albums and a series of essential singles, they created a body of work where almost every song mattered. The Smiths, 1984. Their debut album introduced a voice British pop had been missing, a voice that was introspective without being fragile, intelligent without being distant, emotional without begging for sympathy. Songs like Hand in Glove and This Charming Man redefined what guitar pop could sound like in the 1980s. Bright, urgent, and poetic. Still Ill captured generational frustration with haunting clarity, while What Difference Does It Make questioned identity and expectation with sharp irony. And then there was Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, not on the original album, but inseparable from its era. A perfect summary of the Smiths' emotional world: self-awareness, humor, and quiet despair. The album didn't follow trends. It exposed how empty they had become. Meat is Murder, 1985. With their second album, the Smiths became bolder and angrier. This was no longer just about personal sadness. It was about moral outrage. The title track, Meat is Murder, was confrontational and uncompromising, turning vegetarianism into a political statement in pop music. The Headmaster Ritual attacked institutional violence with chilling intensity. Nowhere Fast captured restlessness and urgency. That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore revealed emotional cruelty beneath casual humor. And then came How Soon Is Now, a hypnotic, tremolo-soaked anthem of alienation that would become one of the most recognizable songs of the decade. The album reached #1 in the UK, proving that discomfort could sell, but success only deepened internal tensions. The Queen is Dead, 1986. This was the Smiths at their most confident and most conflicted. Louder, smarter, sharper. The opening track, "The Queen is Dead," was both musical explosion and political provocation, dismantling British tradition with wit and noise. Big Mouth Strikes Again turned public criticism into self-aware mockery. Cemetery Gates celebrated literary influence while exposing cultural hypocrisy. And There Is a Light That Never Goes Out became an anthem of romantic fatalism, tender, dramatic, and unforgettable. Around the album floated essential singles: Ask, gentle, hopeful, and almost innocent. Panic, a furious reaction to cultural emptiness, famously declaring, "Hang the DJ." This was not just an album, it was a cultural statement, and it cemented the Smiths as the defining British band of their generation. By the time their final album was recorded, Strange Ways, Here We Come, 1987, the band was already unraveling. The unity was gone, but the ambition remained. Girlfriend in a Coma balanced dark humor with melodic charm. Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before revisited familiar themes with exhaustion and wit. Last Night I Dreamt That Somebody Loved Me felt like a farewell disguised as a confession. The sound was more layered, the emotions more distant, the fracture audible. It was not a triumphant ending, but it was an honest one. Taken together, these songs formed more than a discography. They became emotional shelter for outsiders, intellectual rebellion without slogans, pop music that dared to be sincere. The Smiths proved that a band didn't need a long career to leave a permanent mark. They only needed truth. Behind the scenes, tensions grew. Morrissey wanted control. Marr wanted musical freedom. Touring exhausted them. Record labels demanded more. Morrissey disliked touring America. Marr felt trapped. Communication collapsed. By 1987, Johnny Marr left the band. The Smiths were over. They never played together again. For years, money was split unevenly. Morrissey and Marr received a larger share. Rourke and Joyce were paid salaries. In the 1990s, Mike Joyce sued Morrissey and Marr over royalties. The court ruled in Joyce's favor. The decision permanently destroyed any chance of reunion. Music had turned into litigation. Friendship became history. Life after the Smiths, Morrissey built a long solo career. Controversial, outspoken, still influential, financially successful, but often isolated. Johnny Marr worked with the Modest Mouse, the Cribs respected, prolific, and musically fulfilled. Andy Rourke struggled with addiction for years, later returned to music, passed away in 2023. Mike Joyce continued working as a musician and DJ, forever linked to the lawsuit. Despite lasting only 5 years, the Smiths became a financial legacy band. Album sales, streaming, merchandising, licensing, their music never disappeared, it only grew. The Smiths influenced Britpop, indie rock, alternative music worldwide. Bands like Radiohead, Oasis, and The Killers carry their DNA. They prove that. You didn't need volume to be loud. You didn't need rebellion to be radical. You didn't need longevity to be eternal. Sober, the Smiths were never comfortable. They were never easy, and they were never meant to last. Yet their songs remain, whispering to new generations who still feel unheard. So we ask you, did the Smiths change music, or did they simply tell the truth when no one else would? And which song still feels like it was written just for you? If this story resonated with you, subscribe for more documentaries about music, meaning, and memory.